Hey, Spuddies, PotatoMcWhiskey here, and welcome back to the Blob game. Now, I have spoken to the challenge issuer, Bikini Bodhi, and he agreed with my assessment that just for dramatic ages, I think it's okay to recapture cities that you've already flipped. I'm not allowed to capture cities that I haven't already owned, so like Kali, Cuenca, Loja, and Tepokohui. These are all reasonable cities for me to recapture. These, for example, Karlstad and Abo, these are not reasonable for me to recapture. Which I think is a fair modification of the rules if you're doing this blob challenge on dramatic ages mode like we are. And I'm willing to accept that. Yes, I've made the game a little bit harder for myself by having dramatic ages on, but I haven't made it like impossibly difficult to the point where, you know, we wouldn't actually be able to really make progress. So with that in mind, we shall begin the siege of Kali, Cuenca, and Loja. There's replaceable parts, so we have access to infantry now. Next up will be flight, and this should be a relatively cheap upgrade for some of my cities. Let's go ahead and take the battle cry promotion. We're going to take out this cavalry. So my artillery does a really good job of blasting these cities. So let's get 2 artillery on the front line with Kali, blowing that to smithereens. I'll need a unit over here to capture it. So I'll go get positioned. And it looks like some spaceport shenanigans has already begun by Simon Bolivar, but he should be the easiest for me to take out before he manages to get anywhere with that space race. Let's faith purchase an entertainment complex in here and then come in and start doing bread and circuses to try to buy an extra tiny chunk of loyalty time here. It'll only be a little bit, but it might be enough for me to turn things around. Maybe get something plugged in. I think I have to spend the money on Limitanii now. Take out Grand Army, plug in Limitanii, take logistics. Is there possibly any more loyalty? Yeah, I think I have to take Praetorium now. And I'm also going to plug in soft targets. That should give me a significant strength boost when trying to blow up cities. It'll make my life harder when it comes to these other military units, but it'll make my life a lot easier otherwise. So I would like to faith purchase a infantry army over here. But I think our main goal is first and foremost to get some artillery going. I was, of course, hit by a natural disaster, so I will submit this as a request. Maybe I'll get some gold out of it. Maybe I'll get some support. Wouldn't be bad if I was able to. All right, yeah, I'm expecting to take a few losses on the front line here, but that's fine. Let's pass these 2 aid requests. I do need to be careful about diplomatic victory points because there's been a lot of aid requests already in this game. Like if we just check diplomacy, yeah, I'm already at 7 points. All right, kaboom, kaboom, kaboom. Yoink, I've recaptured one of my cities. So as long as I've already owned the city, I'm allowed to recapture it. And now I have full loyalty in here and hopefully full loyalty in here too. Probably not quite like that, but we'll see. We have a spy in our capital. And I think maybe the best position for him would be maybe stealing gold is the thing that like gives me sustenance this game. Ideally from our friend Mali. Because our gold income is tanking pretty rapidly from our unit expenses, which is to be expected. We have a relatively large and expansive military now. We're retaking Kali because I owned Kali before, which means I'm allowed to take it back. Then I'm going to grab myself some more. I'm going to grab myself 1 really strong infantry unit on this front. Now I could liberate it, but I'm going to keep it. Now the loyalty in here is a bit rough, but that's okay because this is just an easy, quick recapture. The real battle will happen over here for the city of Cuenca. We have our military academy in Anchor Thom, which should theoretically allow us now to run encampment training projects. A great general would make the recapturing process quite a bit easier if I could pull that off. Plus, you get gold from running that project. I'll put Victor and Kali. That'll buy me 2 turns in here. Maybe if I flip Cuenca, that'll be enough loyalty pressure. We shall see where the cookie crumbles. Now, the unfortunate reality is we're probably going to be going up against some stiff resistance on the Western Front. But we will have extra oil in the bank to have more artillery going. Clean out the enemy resistance around this city so we can begin actually bombarding Cuenca and take it back. I've never owned Pesh, so I'm not allowed to go for that. God, I have so many regrets. I have so many regrets about picking dramatic ages before starting this challenge. I made my life so unnecessarily difficult. I'm expecting more cities to flip independent here. So, where have we had an independent? So, Raja Vihara has flipped independent, and there is infantry now running around out there, which is far from ideal. Kaboom, however, Cuenca does not have the military strength to stand up against artillery. That is the important piece of data there. And I don't really want to pillage my own cities, but I'm looking to take them back. We do have access to flight, so we can do aerodromes and biplanes now. And biplanes will serve as a useful unit for clearing out enemy units, but otherwise not super important now. In terms of loyalty, what is the most effective government I could take here for generating loyalty? Democracy gives me a lot of economic and wild card, so I feel like that might be it alongside New Deal for amenities. Yeah, I like the New Deal for amenities thing. That would significantly reduce the demand of amenities on my entire empire. Let's sell off some luxuries, buy some luxuries as well. I sold off some strategic resources to try to boost up my economy a bit, and we're back up to 165 gold per turn. Otherwise, I don't have much else to sell. Kaboom, and then kaboom, kaboom. Yoink the city. We shall keep it. Now it's going independent in 4 turns. So let's make a Mani be useful here. So now it's 8 turns. We've got 8 turns to take back Loja. My biggest problem is I'm just not generating enough era score. I might need to start looking into national parks as a way to generate extra era score. A way to convert my faith into era score. So like naturalists could possibly be my saving grace here. Because they are I have such huge land that I can start to convert all of this old land into like naturalist territory, which will give me an infinite engine for era score. Now, the only thing I would be missing there would be like Taj Mahal, but I think somebody else built it. It's over here in Granada. So if I can claim Granada, my era score engine gets a lot stronger. Rebellion in Cali is down to 7 turns. We might even be able to get that down to a better situation. It all depends on if we can make New Deal happen in a fast enough manner. Viad Hapura has flipped back to me, which is great. And the loyalty is just barely negative in here. So we should be able to hold it for a very long time. In fact, to the point where I'm considering reassigning Moksha to that city. Maybe I could faith purchase some districts in there. I think that is what I'm going to do. If I could faith purchase a few districts in here, we can get an edge into Hungary here, because we almost have him on negative citizen pressure already, because he's also in a dark age. So this might be where we make a play on Hungary here. Grand Colombia might be a little bit too difficult, but Hungary, I think, is something we could achieve. Now, my question is, I did actually unlock observation balloons, so I need to go ahead and buy one of those ASAP. Do I have anything I could sell for cash? Raw cash, thank you. Boom, there's the observation balloon, which means artillery next to Cuenca can actually hit this city. So the city's health will fall very, very quickly. Trying to identify more locations for national parks here. This volcano could definitely formulate part of a national park. I forgot that the Lanero can actually attack. I thought that was one of like the Commandant Generals infantry over here. Now, infantry is a scary unit. I'll be keeping it a $150 when I talk about infantry. But otherwise, I'm not scared. I'll need an observation balloon and artillery over here as well. But that's going to come in time. I could probably get the artillery now. We have the spare oil. We're only using 4 per turn. Let's come in here and we'll buy 1 and then 2 artillery for the Western Front. This is volcanic soil actually, which does not make a good national park. I need to rethink what I was doing over here. This is just bananas, so that would be an okay national park, right? Yeah, I think we can do that there. Loja has been reclaimed. We shall keep it. Loyalty isn't amazing in here, but that's okay. Next step is Te Pokahiwi, if we can grab that back. I'm surprised I'm not getting much era score for reclaiming cities. I thought that was like a thing that could happen. Maybe I'm crazy. Now, Granada is flipping to become a city belonging to Grand Colombia, which I think is kind of BS because it's fine. It's fine. We might be able to swing that if we do the if we do the stuff that we have to with regards to like flipping the cities the way we want. There's a national park here for sure. There's our first national park. That's worth 4 era score. It was actually 5 in total. So that gets us a step closer to our golden age. It would be good to have a couple of oil power plants maybe in my empire. So I'll pick up electricity. Plus it gives me access to the shipyard building, which isn't a terrible building for certain cities. We have full loyalty across here, except for in Loja, which is probably just missing a governor. But that'll be fine for now because it's like... It's a very, very slow loyalty decline in here to the point where like any significant change in loyalty, like a population growing, will solve that issue for us. Now, I'm happy I have railroads because it means my artillery in my capital can get all the way to the front line in basically 2 turns. Now we have access to democracy, which unfortunately does mean we have to give up on the nice discount on faith here. But I think democracy maybe opens up some options, specifically because of the New Deal card just giving me so many amenities across my empire, and the second slot here also giving me access to Republican legacy for that extra amenities and housing. I would love to plug in liberalism as well, because this is like a huge amenity swing in my empire. And I think honestly 88 faith, while amazing, is not like completely necessary. Not completely. So yeah, I'm happy with this. Logistics, liberalism, scripture, New Deal, merging confederation, praetorium, Machiavellianism, soft targets, and Republican legacy, which should, in theory, if I go to some of my city reports and look at the happiness, a bunch, yeah, look at that. Look at the happiness level in here. Most of my cities are content, and anything that isn't content is a positive happiness, which means lots of loyalty. So we have our railroad through the mountains now. We're just missing a little bit of rail connecting this flank, but now our artillery can get through to the front line quite easily. Let's research capitalism. Maybe it'll be useful. Who knows? Maybe we'll find a use for capitalism. I mean, crazier things have been done. So fortunately, this city managed to get walls on it. However, they're not very good walls. It's just ancient walls on them. They're not like, oh god, I have to like, have artillery to deal with this. It should be fine. I should also totally use my gold to pick up an obs balloon to give this artillery here a little bit of extra oomph and a little bit of extra range. Flooding is happening soon, so I think I have to immediately go for computers to... I mean, maybe I can forgive flooding. Who cares, honestly? It might be the take that I need to have. So, observation balloon, more rail. Take this guy. We blast the city to the Stone Age, like so. We retake it. Now, unfortunately, we did lose Muang Tam. If the AI takes it, I don't think I'm allowed to retake it. Even though I settled that city, I don't think I'm allowed to do it that way. I have to loyalty flip that back, which is unfortunate. However, I do believe that I am now technologically superior enough compared to Mansa Musa to maybe consider pillaging and standing on every tile so his city starts starving. I have the faith to start doing that sort of a thing. So it's an option that we have available to us, if we so decide. There's actually 2 decent national parks in Haryalaya if I just change around a few little bits of the terrain. Like I just need to put a park in here, another park down. Now they're only worth 3 era score after your first one, but that doesn't matter because that 3 era score is like a huge amount to be able to actually hit a golden age. So unfortunately, Granada will flip back to Gran Colombia. So that we'll have to restart the loyalty flipping process there. It's not the end of the world. It's just not the outcome I was looking for. Let's drop a railroad here. I see a mistake I made here. I should not have put you there. I can move you. You can get up to beside the city. You're ready for a promotion. So you can't shoot over the mountain, even with observation balloon. Interesting. Well, let's blast the city, take the city. So now... we should have secured loyalty on many, many, many fronts. So my eastern front is back to me. That's like the good news. And the city of Granada, they can't hold it. Even still, to this day, they cannot hold it. Which puts me in like a very unique and interesting position. With regards to blobbing, I'll be able to start blobbing these cities very soon. There is a city like in this fog of war here that I actually just can't see. Can I like sneak an Inquisitor in there? Or would it have to be a missionary that I sneak in there? I could pick up a food market which would allow the city to grow an extra 6 food if I can power the city. 4 food per turn. I think there's better things to spend my production on, namely the actual project that would like expand the city's borders if I could do that. The one I'm talking about. Not the borders, but expands the city's loyalty pressure. I think I can remove Magnus from the city of Tadmeka and put him in Via Mapura. If I could find it on the list. Am I just blind? Vimaya Pura. There it is. That'll buy me a little bit of extra time in here. The negative pressure is rough. Partially because of this city here. And the good news is I can hit it from range. God, my naturalists are so much more expensive now that I have to buy them at full price. Let's buy another pair of artillery for the Western Front. That'll use up 2 more of my oil. And then I'll probably just quickly grab myself another infantry army to send over here. And then I'm probably going to want to unlock these AT crews so that I can spam 0 strategic cost units to just sit on every enemy tile. This is going to get very, very expensive very quickly. But I think I can make it work. There's potentially a national park here. The loyalty is only low from mines, and I can fix that. Or the appeal is only low from mines, which can easily be fixed. So we're almost ready for a national park in here. I just need to clean up these 2 tiles with positives, I think. And then I can easily slap one down. Now, my main worry with the national park plan is that it's going to give me too much tourism. But I'm just not going to think about that just yet. That's a problem for Future Potato. And Future Potato is not me. I am not Future Potato. I am now Potato. Oh yeah, right. I can buy districts with this guy. Let's buy the Holy Site. That'll, of course, culture bomb into my enemy's territory. Let's also faith purchase the aqueduct, like right there. Boom. And then we want to faith purchase ourselves a neighborhood, ideally with like decent, like there plus 4 housing. And then we want to gold purchase a food market to try to pump this city's population as high as possible. Then ideally we would also gold purchase a temple and sewer and stuff like that. But let's not get ahead of ourselves here. First of all, we need to sell off our luxuries for some raw gold. Thank you. There we go. We'll come in here now. Purchase the Prasat and then faith purchase the Gurdwara. And then we can faith purchase an entertainment complex, which is like the last district that the city actually needs. Did we not faith purchase the Gurdwara? There it is. Okay, boom. Now we're up to a 42 food surplus in here. We can start running bread and circuses. And then the loyalty pressure that this city will start to exert will become overwhelming in a very short period of time. I will need to put Moksha in a city. I'm just not sure where to put him. Probably put him into Kali. I want to keep Moksha mobile because he's like a super important governor for me. Builder, destroy this tile. Make sure we take, if we can, this tile away. I need to force this to be here instead of there. That's an annoying location that it has decided upon. I think I know how to do it. I'll have to swap this tile, clean it up, and then put the naturalist on here, build this national park first, and then this one. God, I love railroads. You can just transport your units across your empire so quickly. There's a reason I'm a railroad evangelist in Civ, okay? I don't think they're actually very good. Like, the effort you put into them isn't super important, but in like specific scenarios like this, where I just need to like, my units need to be in very particular places at very particular time, like in Hungary. My troops need to be in Hungary now, so we can start starving their tiles. I think the next phase of my attack on Colombia for the next era is a wave of conversions. Now, hold on, let me double check real quick, because now this is Hungary's religion. So if I want to convert anyone, it's Hungary. And if I want to convert anyone, I should really have Jerusalem as my city-state. I should be suzerain of Jerusalem, because that'll give me a massive boost to my passive loyalty pressure. So these are all things I need to start thinking about. Kaboom. Railroad. You retreat because you're not actually strong enough to really hold the front line. Kaboom. Infantry steps forward. Can you make a difference in this fight? You can do a little bit of damage. This artillery comes down and blasts that infantry out of the water. Where else are we looking at for national parks? There's probably an okay attempt at a national park somewhere in here. You probably fit a few around Arahandrapura. In a way, it's a bit of a blessing in disguise that Hungary has denounced me, because it gives me an excuse to be able to declare an easy war on him. And he has no allies. So I can do a holy war Now, what turn do I want to do that? Probably next turn is when we declare. I want my units to actually be in position for that. This encampment is first stop. We blow that up. Start pillaging and occupying, and then printing an infinite number of AT crew. If I'm going to start printing an infinite number of AT crew, I am going to need to... Where is Alhambra? Okay, it's over here in Colombia, so I may have to sacrifice +1 movement from my territory in exchange for Levy en Masse. That's 67 gold right now, and that's kind of hard to pass up, especially when I'm going to be printing even more troops. It basically halves the cost of my AT crew that I plan to occupy enemy territory with. So I only need, roughly speaking, about 24 era score to be able to get a golden age here, which I think is in the realm of possibility. It's not going to be simple or like pure easy, but it's in what I would consider to be the realm of possibility here. Let's yoink back Rajajivahara. So that should also bolster the loyalty over here, giving me more time. This city definitely needs Moksha to be established in it at some point. It's probably the next city to get Moksha. That's reality. Next up on our list is Lingapura. And the loyalty in Edgar. Look, this city and this city combined are already pumping so much loyalty pressure into this city that he needs a governor. It's because he's in a dark age. Maybe we can turn that to our advantage. Let's talk to Hungary, Casus Belli, Holy War, declare war. In exactly 1 turn, I can start printing AT crews. And I won't be printing AT crew armies. I don't think I need armies because their job is basically to just stand on enemy tiles and prevent them from working those tiles. As long as that mission is fulfilled, I think our objective here is relatively straightforward and actually quite trivial to achieve. Boom, there's chemistry. It's time for AT crews, but not before we actually like press hard for victory here. Let's step back this guy so we can blast this. I wish I had a melee unit in range, and I don't. So I don't really care about losses here so much as I do about the just the progress that we make. All right, AT crew. Boom, they're 800 faith each, and they cost me 4 gold a turn to maintain. Pop down a railroad here. Let's finish off this encampment. Let's make sure we bombard the hell out of this hussar. Again, I don't really care if I lose units. It's not my objective here. So like if these Domries now die off, that is completely within the scope of this operation. So if I put a farm here now, that should force this to pop down here. So there's another 3 era score. And then I can come in here and instantly grab myself another naturalist. However, I will need a builder charge. So I'll send you to here. Once you're on the rail network, you should get there pretty quick. A proposal to get a free war on Bandar on Mansa Musa. So there's an aid request for Guitarja that I could win outright. I don't think I care for the diplomatic favor. It's not important to me. Nor do I care about the diplomatic victory points. My only victory is to do the food-based domination. And it's, if I'm being honest here, it's not going amazingly. But maybe we can continue to make it work. Moksha and Kali, faith purchase the holy site. Let's also make sure that we faith purchase any aqueducts we can get. Boom. Then we'll also faith purchase a neighborhood in here. I might have already done that in here, but that doesn't matter. And then we'll gold purchase a food market. We will gold purchase a shrine, a prasat, and a gurdwara. So now this city is cranking out population to be a massive block of loyalty pressure against these people. Now, the demands on my economy in terms of faith is becoming massive. So I may have to actually come in here and start hard building AT crews to satisfy my empire's needs for occupational forces. I don't think I can get away with faith purchasing them if I'm going to also be trying to get era score using naturalists. So that's just an adjustment I'm going to have to like get around to making. So I voted up the war declaration on Mansa Musa for capturing thing. I'm going to just wait, am I forced at peace? I hate this. I'm forced at peace with Hungary for 5 turns due to voting up this emergency with Mansa Musa. That's incredibly frustrating. Now, if we're looking at this city, it belongs to Mali. It has plus 20 loyalty pressure, Part of that is probably down to the fact that Mali is in a golden age, as far as I can tell. Yeah. And so it's getting loyalty pressure from like Niani and Bandar Brunei. So what we're going to do is to try to dismantle this city. We're not going to take it militarily, but we're going to break all of the infrastructure in it, even though it's my infrastructure. Any tile that is in this city that generates food, I want to have a unit standing on it to prevent the city from being able to harvest it. Because if you want to try to collect yields from a tile, an enemy unit cannot be standing on that tile. It's like the foundational basis of like this entire build is the fact that you actually have a method. For some reason, I can't shoot him, even though you have attack range 3. 1, 2, 3. I'm at peace. God damn it. Yeah, I'm going to have to wait 5 turns before I can declare war. All right, let's make another national park. We're up to 250 out of 262 era score. And what we would kind of like to do is to hit that as cleanly as possible and not overshoot. But it looks like I can see the entire world due to having shared vision with people who are at war with Mali. I think we need to make sure that we're standing on every tile of value in the city. It's going to be a process. I am building a railroad to assault the city down here in the south, Lingapura. Because remember, Egger is very, very close to flipping, like loyalty-wise, in my kind of a direction. Boom, we drop a national park. There's another 3 era score. We just need a healthy 6 or so, which should be very, very doable for us. And we're pre-prepping more national parks should we need them. But I think we're more or less okay with regards to era score right now. I don't think we're going to run into any issues. I kind of wish there was a way to tell if I was actually if like his cities were growing or not. Establish a trade route. Send a spy. Now we have access to the Cold War, which is another spy, rock bands, and other things. Now rock bands, if I get Hallyu, which allows me to pick my promotional rock bands, that could help with like loyalty flipping cities a little bit quicker. Otherwise though, we're just interested in getting last few cities flipped to us. Let's take control of Jerusalem. That will give us huge religious pressure across the map. Like an absurd amount of religious pressure. So we're currently standing on every tile that could possibly be giving this city food, with the exception of this tile and this tile. Let me get a soldier onto that. So this city should start to experience starvation. Lingapura, similarly, we've actually recaptured this city. Boom. This turn, which gives us another edgeway into Hungary. Cuenca, I can go ahead and buy myself a really nice entertainment complex and immediately begin doing bread and circuses next turn. Short term, that probably doesn't matter, but it sets us up for success. God, this golden age that I'm heading towards is going to hit different. Let me tell you, okay? It is going to hit different. Oh, you must wait 10 turns after making peace. I gotta wait another 5 turns before I can start messing with Hungary again. That kind of upsets me. Not the outcome that I wanted there. This is honestly a really finicky challenge because I'm managing such a huge empire. I have to spend so much of my like brain power just like using builders and stuff to like improve my territory and, you know, move things and position units. There is some really good news though that we have a second frontier with Hungary, and I think we have a railroad going all the way to this city, which means we should be able to reposition AT infantry over here to help start carpet sieging the enemy. And yes, I am using an EU4 term for what I'm going to be doing to them. What of it? I have some spare oil in the bank. I think that might actually trigger me to... I need to get to 22 population in my capital, which isn't going to happen. Where could I get an airport in a reasonable amount of time? Probably my capital if I just had more traders. All right, it's 8 turns until we get our golden age. Do I want to place down a couple of extra national parks? Maybe that's not a bad idea, just to grab that little bit of extra, like overachiever status for a little bit of extra loyalty. It's not much, but when you're like at the scale of population level that I'm at, it might actually be significant. We got to preserve. Let's go ahead and get a grove and a sanctuary in here. I just thought it would be kind of fun to have a little, like, you know, a little bit of yield fun. We haven't quite won the game, but you know, you got to have a little bit of fun from time to time. Gadoosh, there's another national park. So the thing about loyalty when you're playing in the dramatic ages mode is the more you overachieve your era goal, the more loyalty your citizens will pump out when, you know, push comes to shove and you're heading in to the next section of the game, the next era. Faith purchase an entertainment complex in here. Let's gold purchase or faith purchase a neighborhood rather. I guess there's fine. Now that we have a holy site, an entertainment complex, and an aqueduct, let's go ahead and gold purchase the food market to try and pump up the housing in here. And then just for the sake of it, I will also faith purchase a harbor, gold purchase a lighthouse, and a shipyard. Probably don't need to gold purchase the seaport, but now we're up to 21 food per turn in here. It's definitely going to want a builder down here. I guess I'll just grab a quick one just to harvest this out and maybe start dropping farms. There's not a whole lot of room for farms down here, but otherwise the city is going to get to work on bread and circuses like it should do, which should theoretically start leading to some serious loyalty issues next era, which is only a few turns away. Let's declare a fresh war on Hungary. Holy war, boom. Finally, we can begin the process of elimination here. He managed to rebuild this district. That's just such an annoying little occurrence that happened. Is that some random little thing went on that ended up severely slowing down my my conquest to an incredibly highly annoying degree. Somehow AT crew lose the line infantry. That makes no sense to me. I mean, I guess he does have a bunch of bonuses. Ugh, I'm going to have to do some combining, I guess, to be able to actually use these guys on the front line as part of the invasion force. I feel like I'm missing an artillery. Oh, he's over here. That's where he is. I see. That makes more sense. Somehow Hungary has just managed to mass produce an army. Despite the fact that I'm twice their size, the army is holding. That just goes to show you, it's so frustrating that weird little quirk of declaring an emergency has now put me into a position where I'm going to have to buy a whole bunch more artillery. Oh yeah, what's the best way to depopulate a city? That's right, nuclear bombs. I need to get my uranium online. That's probably the best way of breaking some of these loyalty muscles I'm running up against. Because we've just been, that Dark Age caught me in a stalemate, real bad. The worst stalemate I've ever been in. I'm losing on all fronts. I'm going to be honest with you. This is the first time the AI has actually ever mounted a significant defense against me. I'm kind of baffled and also weirdly proud of the AI for doing so well. I am about to break it though, because I decided to stop messing around and I finally got a supply convoy and I'm like, okay, fine. I will actually make use of my artillery and I'll start combining my AT crews. You know, we're now at the point where it's okay, you had your fun. And now I have decided that I'm no longer allowing the AI to have fun. I am in fact deleting fun from all knowledge in the universe. It's is this what you wanted? Did you want me to actually put effort into this war? And now you got it. Now I'm trying. Okay, now I'm actually trying. I overshot my goal by 20 points, but I still have a turn. Maybe I can crank out a point or two. I'm not sure. It's probably unlikely, to be honest with you. But, stranger things have happened. Stranger things. Probably need to get a airplane of some kind. I keep saying that and then not doing it. I've mentally taken note that airplanes are important enough to think about, but not actually do something about. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I think I could have won this easily had it not been for the fact that I was doing it in dramatic ages. Now, I reckon there's a small chance we fail this. And if we fail it, I will be making another attempt because I am not one to be beaten by a challenge. This is why I don't like doing challenges. You'll notice that I don't do a whole lot of challenges. It's because if a challenge is difficult, it will literally consume my life for a week. And so welcome to probably the next challenge that will consume the channel until I actually finish it. There's a reason I avoid challenges, and it's because I know who I am. And I know the way that I am, and I know the way that I'll react when a challenge is not going the way that I want it to. God, these hussars are just so strong. Oh, they got their city walls back over here. I'm going to have to get some artillery and balloons. Ooh, +1 level of diplomatic visibility with all other players is actually super powerful here in this particular situation. It gives me that little bit of combat strength that I wouldn't otherwise have. Oh, negative loyalty. Rebellion has begun. This is the turn. This is the turn where things turn around. If the loyalty train doesn't begin next turn, I don't know what to tell you. We're just out of luck. But this is the turning moment. This is the moment where all this work. I literally did 2 damage to this guy because my things are. I never upgraded an archer. Where's my nearest archer? There you are. Okay, can you become a field cannon so my cities actually do damage? Thank you. 13 damage is a little bit more respectable. I'm willing to live with 13 damage. The world enters into the atomic era. Alrighty. Each of my citizens exerts 2.125 loyalty pressure. Excellent. Excellent. Somehow all of my enemies secured golden ages. This is baffling. I am completely baffled. I don't know what I do against that. However, as they say, you haven't lost until you see the end game screen, right? We're still in it to win it. And I think this just means I need to push harder militarily and actually regroup, refocus, and break these cities. Also, how are you going to Mali when he's very clearly in a dark age? This should be my city. Hold on. Let's take a little bit of a look here. 520. How is he putting 524 pressure? I'm sorry. Excuse me? In one turn, he put 524 pressure in the city? I think not. This is impossible. However, I did used to own this city. And so by the rules of the game, we could retake it. It's an option. I mean, like, I literally have the biggest cities I could possibly have on the border. I don't know how I prevent this. It's like there was a window of opportunity to do my blobbing passively, and that may have passed. I know. I'm going to try this again in another episode. Well, I'm not going to try it again. I'm going to continue on. I love you all very much, and I'll see you guys next time.